right through this 160-room Victorian mansion. The mansion was built by Sarah Lockwood Party Winchester. She was the wife of William Winchester, who was the second president of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. And this is the only photograph we have of Mrs. Winchester, taken here at least on the estate. She stood 4 feet 10 inches tall and could easily walk through this little bitty door right over here. That photograph, by the way, was taken right outside these back doors. If you look down at your feet, you'll notice the concrete's all rucked about. That's for traction for the horses. As you see, you're standing in the carriage entrance hall. What they could do is just pull the carriage right on in here, and then Mrs. Winchester could get in and out without worrying about the weather. And there are a number of fascinating windows that open on the walls. She has doors that open up if you step down 2 stories if you're showing the bottom. And she has a staircase that leads directly to the ceiling. We have a couple of explanations for this. One of them is that while Mrs. Winchester was a highly educated and very, very intelligent lady, she had absolutely no training whatsoever in architecture. So these could have simply been architectural errors, right? Other people prefer to believe that Mrs. Winchester did these things on purpose in order to confound any spirits that might be wandering around. Now, we do have a couple of rules and regulations that we're going to ask that you follow while you're on the tour today. The first one is, we request that there be no eating, drinking, smoking, or chewing gum. And I have to warn you folks in advance, I'm an old school teacher. So you know what happens if I catch you with gum on the tour. If you need to dispose of anything, they're garbage cans at either end of the carriage plan. There is a tour. I am absolutely given proof that it is possible to get lost in this house. So don't you guys get out ahead of me. I don't want to lose you, okay? And don't lag too far behind. You can take all the photographs you want to take. Just don't lag so far behind the rest of us. We have to wait on you, and you will see the progress of the tour. Maybe the most important rule of it, if for any reason you feel the need to leave the tour, you tell me, and I'll see to it you're escorted out. Under no circumstance should you try to get out of this house on your own, because we might never see you again. Oh, we do ask that you turn your pages of your cell phones off, so that
Here. Well, this is our first trip here.
When you see somebody, let me know.
Getting some stuff ready? Yes, it is.
In the doorway. No, that's a water pipe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's the EMF meter going off. Notice. No electric. You got steam pipes, maybe water pipes. Seems to be no electric in walls.
And then it goes to nowhere?
We better move on.
It's all right.
Look.
Now, is this a stairway that goes up to nothing?
Mm-hmm. The stairway that goes nowhere. See if I can get up here and get a good shot of that. Very cool.
Many glass company started by who was the guy who started the Tiffany department store, his father. There are no Lewis Comfort Tiffany's in this house. These are all European, and I'll say about this, that they're all European. No Tiffany, if I think you were asking that question. The things that you see beyond this business were valued at the time for death in 1922 at $25,000. Try multiplying that times 100, and you might come somewhere closer to today's value. The windows and doors were imported by the Tiffany Glass Company from New York, and that includes that blue and amber window that you see there in the center. That window was made, we think, according to Mrs. Winchester's own specific design. And it includes her favorite spiritualistic symbol of the spider. It also includes 13 blue and amber stones. And there are a lot of 13 in this house because it became the story. And from here we get to go up to the hayloft. Make 7 complete turns, travel 100 feet to get to the hayloft and 9 feet above. Now these stairs are a little tricky to get used to. So you're going to have to watch your feet. You may want to watch your head as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You never shared.
Oh, the staircase, wow. The goofy staircase. Ah!
Can you imagine having to move your couch or something?
Oh, these steps are so little, too.
Just like one of a ramp instead of stairs.
Okay, you guys, what'd you think of those stairs?
Those are fun.
Like different. Actually, there's a very good, very logical reason for those stairs. Late in her life, Mrs. Winchester developed a very severe and excruciatingly painful case of arthritis. And she could barely lift her feet 3 to 4 inches off the ground. So she simply brought her carpenters in. They took out the normal staircase, put in what's called easy rises so she could get around the house. You're standing in the hayloft of that original barn that she bought. She apparently used it for storage. I'm told those shelves over there, 1,000 a small fortune in cut glass, crystal and china. You're going to see some restored rooms as you go through the place today. I want you to remember, please, absolutely none of the furniture that you see in the house today belonged to Mrs. Winchester. That's because her will, which had 13 parts of which she signed 13 times, dictated that all of her furnishings be given to her niece, who then selected what she wanted and sold the rest at a profit. Miss Winchester also left trust funds for relatives and for favorite employees. And she left a large sum of money to the William Winchester Circular Anecdote General Hospital Society in Connecticut, which, by the way, is still open today as part of the Yale Museum. The acreage, the outbuildings, and this building all became a part of her large and extensive estate, with so much trustee that the house, at the time of her death, was 3/4 full. Took 8 truckloads a day for
Here we are going into one of the 42 bedrooms, was it?
It was 3/4 full.
She must have a lot of
Only 18. It would vary, but 18 or 20 would be about those.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So they've been able to locate none of her old furniture then?
Well, every now and then somebody comes along and says, Grandpa bought this at the auction, do you want to buy it back? But we have no photographs of the interior of her house when she lived here,
So you don't.
and the records of the auction were so poor. It's not like a work of art. It doesn't come with it.
Gorgeous.
I love some wall in here.
going down some more goofy stairs.
They're using these windows to get light into the staircase. You put your finger along here, there's a ridge where the frosted glass was placed. Not so she was standing naked for everyone to see. This would have had frosted glass. However, the bathroom was completed.
This is the bathroom?
This is the second thing she did.
No, we were upstairs.
No, don't, honey. I said arthritis right up there.
Now, and this is the bathroom. I know, we weren't paying attention.
Okay, I'm separating you two.
Okay.
That's her shower. I don't know. Well, I think you're pretty smart for somebody who doesn't listen.
You're just here in the corner now.
Before I start on about the other innovation that she's got in here is the shower. That shower is designed to wet a person from the neck down, provided that person is 40 inches tall. The water comes out the U-shaped pipes to the side of the car wash. Little room in the corner of it.
Here's the window that looks into the bedroom where Mrs. Winchester died.
From the 13th bathroom.
Ooh. Here we are going through some more goofy stairs. We're heading into Mrs. Winchester's bedroom. As you can see, there's Mark and Shelley. Oh, Mark's gonna videotape me too.
Videotape again.
Hi, Mark.
I like how I'm there.
Yeah.
I should give you a bit of
You guys better get in here and pay attention. Okay.
I will tell you, my own theme, Sarah Lockwood Pardee was born in 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut. She was educated in the very best private schools, spoke 4 languages, and was proficient on the piano and on the violin. On September the 30th, in 1862, she married William Wirt Winchester. And together the two of them actually had a very active social life. 4 years after that marriage, their only child, Annie, was born. But Annie had a childhood disease and she died in 6 weeks. Then 15 years after that, in 1881, William Winchester died of pulmonary tuberculosis. And those two deaths sent Miss Winchester into mourning, and she remained in mourning for the rest of her life. Now, legend has it that she had the hospital on the advice of the Boston psychic, who told her that if she was ever to appease the spirits of those who'd been killed by the Winchester repeating rifle, she should build a house according to those spirits' instructions. She should build forever and never complete the house. So in 1884, she moved out here to California, purchased a small, unfinished, 8-room farmhouse right outside the city of San Jose, hired a cadre of carpenters, and she built. She built for 38 years, night and day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without ceasing. And the result is this mansion that you just happen to be standing in, and that she just happened to spend $5.5 million constructing. She died on September the 5th of 1922 in this room, in her bed, in her sleep, of heart failure. It was discovered the next morning by one of her servants, and she's currently buried in the Evergreen Cemetery in New Haven, Connecticut, next to her daughter. Look around you, folks. You're going to see the lid crust of wallpaper as it's applied to the walls and ceiling. As you look up at that ceiling, you're going to see a row of hooks that run all the way around the top of the room. Those hooks, we believe, were used in the winter time to hang drapery on to help with heat retention. And the floor in here is original. It's a solid oak floor set in the English herringbone pattern.
Looks scary, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's falling over there. No, not yet. Don't ask me any questions. You get home.
Oh.
Take a picture of me here, right here.
Okay.
See if you can read that story coming out.
Looks like I'm gonna pull in the lane and maybe get
Oh. There we go. The rest of the world is waiting on you.
There's still 3 people back there.
I know.
Come on in.
Yeah, you don't want to lag that far behind.
I'm working on
We're
it.
waiting and waiting, she said.
We were looking at orbs.
And hooks.
We're here.
You need to do something.
No, all the orb looking people were in here. You guys were busy.
No, we had an orb. We
Oh,
had
you
an
had
orb
it
right
all,
here.
okay. Come all the way in front, please, and let's close that door.
Well, we gotta close the door.
Oh, we gotta close it.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Everything. Now, this room's at the heart of the house physically. It's also the room where Mrs. Winchester would come to make contact with the spirits of those who've been killed by the Winchester repeated rifle. She really did believe that they were responsible for the death of her daughter, the death of her husband, and that they could be responsible for her own death as well. So this is where she came to make contact with those spirits to get her instructions for her continuous building. We also believe that she used the room to keep tabs on at least some of her employees. Because if you look through this central window and down, you're going to notice you're looking directly into, of course, the door we keep. The second one is right next to it. Step out that door, however, you're going to be stepping down 8 feet into a kitchen sink. And where's the other exit, you guys? Behind me, I'll give you 50% for that answer. But no more. You two don't get a darn thing. That is a cupboard with 9 hooks. The other 4 are there in the alcove. And the reason you only get 50% on this is because it's really only 50% a door. Look at that. Solid wall. And this door has a problem in its own right because it doesn't have a door knob on that. What is it? So once you go through there, you don't come back. So, who's going in there first?
Okay, we're recording live. This is the Winchester Mansion in the spirit room that Miss Winchester came to our recording device. Why are you here? Were you connected with Miss Winchester? Sarah, are you here?
This room's going to be a dressing room for an unfinished bedroom through these double doors. Unfortunately, the process of being remodeled when Mrs. Winchester died, and when she died, all building and remodeling stopped like that here. So this room's going to wait forever for a new... And you're doing her trick.
Oh, well, I was talking.
Yeah, will you stop it?
I hadn't covered the last room good enough.
Now, there's the people who...
Inside the seance room in the wind.
Did you record over yourself?
No. It advances all the time. This is the room right outside the seance room. It's the dressing room area. If there's a ghost or spirit here, we like to communicate with you. There will be some talking in the background. What is your name? Were you following Sarah? Sarah, are you here? Thank you.
On the house plan, service would lift those sections and stack them elsewhere for here. You'll also notice that the floor slopes that direction, which means that any excess water was carried over that way into a conduit that led outside and down, where it was used to water the garden below. From here we visit the hall.
Okay.
You'll get comment mark for that.
moving through the house some more. Oh, look at that gorgeous fireplace.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
the window one over down there.
However, there are windows on bathroom doors, and she would, if you were to unlock them and open them up, you would see that there's hardware on the other side of the kitchen. And what she was doing was being very, very proud about you.
Oh, that's just a little too open.
But that's sources in this big room. There are 4 fireplaces, 3 registers, like that one in the corner. And we believe that she used these rooms in the wintertime to try to get relief for the
It'd be fun trying to find out where the hell you're at.
These are the areas pretty good. Imported before, you know, down around. Bamboo for the fireplace over here was imported from Japan as part of here. On the estate, you'll notice it incorporates mystic spiderweb design. These 2 rooms were occupied by the only other person to live here who was not a servant. Her name was Marion, and she happened to be Mrs. Winchester's niece, but she also served as her companion and secretary as well. Doorway in the corner is to the 7-11 staircase. To get down to the landing from, you have to go up, to go up, to go up. You have to go down to go up, to go up. You have to go up, to go down, to go down. You have to go down, to go down, to go down, right? We're gonna go over that way, but we get to do it by going to the south, to the drink, which is the
My bad.
Now look, there's Mark and Mike enjoying the Winchester mansion. Yes, they are. Look at that, look at that.
I beg your pardon, look at that.
Right back here behind the shelf.
That's where it's at. Yeah, but that's not the table, it's the wallpaper. And this has got beautiful blonde hardwood at all in here, folks. It really is California redwood. Mrs. Winchester appreciated the durability of the California redwood. She didn't like the way it finished out, so she brought her painters in. They painted the wood pond. They hand painted the grain. It's a process called graining, and it utilizes steel combs and feathers to get the effect. You look it up in a home decoration book. It's going to be referred to as faux grade, F-A-U-X, which of course is French for faux. We can't take off and he's going to pedal on us. Swag. Thank you.
Who are you speaking to? Is it to my whole self or
Ooh,
to
that's
my
pretty
butt?
winter.
Okay, this is the most expensive window in the house. And then shower this room with rain. Oh, you're not missing a thing, folks. It's never happened. And this never will happen. Mrs. Winchester stole that window engaged in nature studies, trees, dragonflies, morning glory,
Y'all get anything in the
grapes,
seance room?
the grape arbor, the whole thing,
Y'all get
grape
anything in the
arbor,
seance room?
on a wall. You make
We'll check it when we get done.
How about you?
But
Did you
none
get
of the
any
windows
awards
in the
in
house
the
were made by Louis Vuitton.
seance room?
No. From here we visit rooms that were initially damaged by the 1906 earthquake and then subsequently damaged by vandals.
Aww.
You're going to see a lot of exposed plaster. So
Look at the cool staircase.
Oh, there's more to it.
Oh, that's okay.
earthquake started in terms of cracked plaster and vandals and finish. This is called the crystal room because of the crushed binder that bleeds that she put the wallpaper. Well, all the way in, so you can see these photos over here. The top 3 floors were so badly damaged, they had to be removed. Leaving the 4th story here as the highest point. Over here you have the house as it appears today. When you take the self-guided garden tour, you're going to be walking along this path, past this fallen down chimney, over towards that sign. As you approach that sign, I want you to look up at those 2 windows right there. Those 2 windows right there are those 2 windows in that bathroom right there. So now when you get out there, you'll know where you've been.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's not where this where did she say they vandalized?
In there, I guess. Because it's got all the pipes and then that,
Mm-hmm. Oh, are they?
Oh,
Are they doing a rededication?
oh, they're going to have an unveiling? I know.
Hey, does that mean Arnold's gonna be here? Pretty wordy.
Here we are, traveling through the area here.
Daisy's was her favorite.
Oh, really? Size and form. The daisy windows, those were imported through Vienna. And this is the room where Mrs. Winchester was sleeping on April the 18th, 1906, when the earthquake struck at 5:13 in the morning. That earthquake registered 8.3 on the Richter scale and was felt all the way from Oregon to Los Angeles, and it did do damage to the house. They tell me that all Sarah Winchester's servants got out of the house without any problems whatsoever. Once they got out there, they discovered they didn't have Sarah Winchester. Took them no time at all to find her. But it took them hours to get her out of here because the earthquake collapsed the fireplace that was over here into the floor below. Caused these walls to shift in that direction. And you can follow that shift all the way along here. Look what it did to the door, you guys. It jammed it completely shut.
Wow.
That earthquake so unnerved Mrs. Winchester that she immediately caused the front 30 rooms of the mansion to be boarded up, and they remained boarded up until after her death in 1922.
Does she just switch bedrooms around?
She slept in this one that we know of, and she slept in the one before.
Okay.
They used to say she slept in a different bedroom every night, but that is sheer silliness. We don't say that anymore.
Okay.
Let's go on up to the 3rd floor. This is the 7th floor.
Is there anything special about this particular room right here?
In San Francisco, they used it deliberately as a fire retardant as well.
He's doing vibes in that room.
Very.
Ooh.
Of course. Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's glass, and then the wall falls out, so it's been mended a number of times. You must not stand in the doorway. That's unfair to the people behind you. Where we're standing, Mrs. Winchester would have had a servant on call 24 hours a day. You gotta figure, you got a house with 160 rooms in it, you're gonna have a system. All she had to do was to ring the bell, look the servant, look what I just did. I just had the number 3 right down into that little box window. Since there were only 6 buttons on those plates, I'm assuming there was 8 to 10 gardeners, 2 chauffeurs. However, these well.
Sneaking out, Felena. I'm gonna get in trouble. Me and Mike are being bad. Say hi to Lena, Mike.
Hey, Lena.
Going up some funky stairs again.
She bought it and restored her house for her sister. I mean, the list of things she was doing just goes on and on. So it wasn't though she was waxing early in the house. Saying, little dear. I mean, she was very, very. Well, I'm fine with it.
The outside of Winchester.
Well, I should use the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Check out this chimney in the corner.
We're outside taking another weird staircase.
Watch.
Where's it gonna take us?
want to throw you down.
Where's it gonna go?
I guess their servants gotta work out. One of the servants was coming under. They need to be one of the sit down. It's back there. Whoa. Servants bathroom.
Servants' quarters in the Winchester section.
Miss Winchester, don't never got married again. She's a smart woman.
Going down some more stairs now.
This place got enough home. You know, the rooms really are small.
Mm-hmm.
This whole house is nothing but small. Not much on room.
They couldn't do anything individually.
Yeah, I bet there's a high society didn't like her, so they killed her husband. I bet she's crazy. That's interesting. And that is for the sighting of a fellow. And
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
Say about butter?
Butler's pantry.
George, look at the coffee.
Yeah, I know. Did you see that,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Did not hear that? There's one for George. Yeah, he gets carried out of Warren. Wow.
Oh, that's a gorgeous couch. Mhm. Did you?
Because they went in right before the 1906 and ordered that immediately.
Doesn't matter to me, whatever.
Sure.
descriptions that read, wide, unclassed tables of their thoughts, and these same thoughts equal this little world. Those are from two separate Shakespearean plays.
No, maybe she just thinks that we all people.
The world is a small place. I mean, it's just that simple.
I'm not vacationing. I'm not too keen on too many windows in the bathrooms.
She was confident. However, has anybody tried to put Nancy Reagan or Shirley MacLaine there recently? Because it's basically the same thing. She was down to step with her time. 7 to 10% of the U.S. population at that time were sincere practicing spiritualists. And so, you know, she wasn't out to step with her time. Over here is the Methodist with the hydraulic elevators to the upstairs of the North Conservatory. You've just come past the full storage room with the marble, the tile, and the concrete to keep things cool. There is a stove here.
Oh, this is so cool.
One of those big old chocolate block things.
It's a pretty big kitchen, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't that the one that has the window?
No.
Where you could fall down? Yeah, right here, see? It allows you to do everything.
You're right, it is there.
That looks kind of cool because I have a transparent mic on my video because of the window.
After the opening. Did you have a question? No, I was, no. Thank you. It was just the light bulb striking the goddesses. The Mayan Indians considered 13 lucky. I mean, you could just look as if she was right. So she was, she could look in there and say, oh.
What pattern is that, Sandy? It's a float blue. That's the same one? It's just called float blue. It's took on many patterns. Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know that that's what it was. We think that it's because of the fact that this is the Venetian motif. This low pattern ceiling is the Venetian. That's why we call it the Venetian dining room, which we think is where she took most of her meals. It's also called the Venetian dining room because of not only the ceiling, but the Italian marble on the fireplace. This is also the last stop on the guide before you get to a Winchester Mystery House. And I'm supposed to summarize what it is you see. You see 110 out of 160 rooms in a Queen Anne Victorian mansion that has 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 52 skylights, 47 fireplaces, 40 bedrooms, 40 staircases, 13 baths, 6 kitchens, 3 elevators, 2 basements, and 6 houses. And from here you want to take the south guided garden to a starts between the arcade and the rifles. If you're going on the behind-the-scenes tour, stand where it says arcade, look to the south. You're going to see 2 big green umbrellas, and it's under those 2 big green umbrellas that your tour will start at 11 o'clock. Don't miss the Rifle Museum, or for that matter, the Product Museum. It's about gift shop and in the cathedral. Thank you all very much for coming to visit Winchester Mystery House today. There's your exit, and you all have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How much truth is it that the Smithsonian said?
Going into the garden area.
Oh, look at the yellow.
The crew enters the garden at Winchester. Shelley? What's up? Todd?
Hello.
Mark's hanging out over there, looking real cool there. Hey, I'm at the Winchester Mansion. Look at me. Look at me. And there's our El Presidente coming into the garden.
Look at my California tan, everybody. Ain't jealous. California tan.
Showing you some more of the garden. We're getting ready to go on the behind the scenes tour, which should be pretty darn cool, I think.
Man. Anybody have any ibuprofen?
Yeah, I do at the crib.
Crib.
At the crib.
I was starting to get a headache in there. And now it's like booming. Right behind the eyeball.
Here you go.
So the water in the sink could be kept in the sink container, but it would stay safe. The chutes on the sides were for the feed from the hayloft, which is right above us. And the sledding horse in the back, the workers could walk behind there and water the horses without having to do it from behind and run the risk of getting kicked, which is approved. And they would actually have to use the crank on the side of the machine to rotate it. But since this machine only held 1.5 tons of fruit and 90 to 100 tons needed to be dried for the season, they would also have to dry it in the sun. They would first dip the fruit in lime water to crack the skin so it would be easier to dry, then place the fruit on 8 by 2.5
You're fixing to lose it here in a minute. Outside for
Now that's what I'm talking about. That's a photo right there. That's a good picture.
Outside in front of the Winchester Mansion.
They had to be moved.